So, Oscar season's starting early. Award-winning actors? Check. Dialogue-heavy screenplay that allows the actors to shine? Check. Really, I could very well just swap out a few words in my review of Lincoln and call it good. I'm only kidding, of course, but really, it's clear as day that this film is an intentional awards contender. It's Oscar bait, plain and simple. The opening of this film is pretty much a longer version of what we saw in the trailers. The only real major difference is how the main character, played by Robert Downey Jr., is pulled into the inciting incident, which happens at about the 20-minute mark or so. From there, we're pretty much given the typical story of the prodigal son returning to his hometown. He reunites with his estranged family members, he rekindles an old flame from high school. It's pretty much a lot of the same cliches and tropes we've come to expect from such films. What may be off-putting at first is just the level of dysfunction the characters are written into. I mean, it's so unpleasant it actually makes it hard to really like the characters. Things do get better as the film goes on, but it made the first act very painful to watch. Now, this is a film you're pretty much watching specifically for the acting performances, because those are what really carry the film. I mean, you've got Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Billy Bob Thornton. There's a lot of A-list talent here. The main strong point of the film is the dialogue, and to a lesser extent, the screenplay. It's a lot like you're watching a stage play, where the only thing that can really carry things forward is the acting. The lines spoken flow very naturally, and we get some pretty good dramatic moments that flesh out the characters. On a related note, some of the dramatic moments tend to fall more on the comedic side, which I understand may sound like a bit of an oxymoron. But, put simply, the comedy of those moments basically stem from the various mishaps the main character gets into, kind of like real life. Luckily, they weren't really forced in order to break the tension, but mainly to just give you insight into the characters' personalities and kind of the history that they come from. The only real detraction these comedic moments have is that they kind of feed into the cliches that I mentioned earlier. From a technical standpoint, the only real complaint I have mainly comes from the film's use of backlighting, specifically where it would place the lighting behind the characters in order to kind of put them in a bit of a silhouette. For some shots, that actually looked pretty good. But as the film goes on, it kind of approached a J.J. Abrams level of overuse. I'm guessing the director was a little too fond of that effect. Overall, this is the kind of film that you pretty much go in just to watch talented actors do their thing. It's a lot like Steven Spielberg's Lincoln in that regard. If that's what you're looking for with this film, and you're willing to overlook some of the problems with the story and some of the cliches, then you'll have a good time. This is definitely a film more meant for the acting buffs, the cinephiles, and people at the Academy. People who kind of look at film as an art form instead of just an entertainment medium. All of that said, the judge gets a 3.5 out of 5. So that's it for this episode of Romney's Reviews. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.